Hi, my name is Allison Bradley, and I am presenting a final project for my business communication class. We were tasked to find a problem with a local business and to come up with a solution and create a presentation for it. So here's my presentation. I chose JMAC Kids, which is a daycare center over in Clearwater. It actually is run and owned by my stepmom and father. So this one was very near and dear to me. This is my opening slide for my project proposal. So like I said, I did a presentation for JMAC Kids. They are a daycare center in Clearwater, Florida. And one of the problems that they are having is that they're seeing an overall decline in their student attendance. So, first, let's give some background. They are, like I said, a daycare center. They offer daycare to students anywhere between the ages of 1 and 13. Really, they have three different sections of their school. They have the preschool, VPK, which is like pre kindergarten, and then after school. One of the things about JMAC that is nice is that they will pick up your student from school for aftercare, along with bringing them to school for before care. So both of those are considered, part of their base package. Another awesome thing about JMAC is that they have a lot of extracurricular activities, such as baton, chess, gymnastics, karate. They also have homework support. So they have a lot of extracurricular activities that not a lot of other daycare centers can say that they offer. They have a huge playground, and their staff, everybody in the staff is pretty nice. However, like I said, one of the problems that they're seeing, though, the problem that we picked out is that their overall attendance is declining. They're losing students on a regular basis. So we went through and tried to figure out what the highest level issue is with this that could be causing the decline in students. And there was nothing that stood out immediately. So Charla, who's the daycare center owner, and myself went through and started to put together like a poll and handed out this poll to 35 separate students and parent combinations and asked them just basic questions about the daycare center. What were the things that they liked? What things did they not like? What things do we wish that they had? What things do they wish that we had? What would you do differently? Just all questions. There wasn't any really negative feedback overall. So we had to figure out what the actual problem was. And it dawned on us at one point that the marketing for JMAC is just not strong. So in order to improve on our current situation and our key to success, marketing. Marketing was going to be the big answer that was going to solve all of the most of the problems. Um, JMAC at the moment doesn't have any marketing strategy. There's nothing out there that says, "Hey, come to JMAC. This is JMAC. We're awesome." We don't. There are no ads. They have an internet site, but it's not very well marketed. It's not advertised very well at all, so nobody really knows about it. So as we were starting to go through these polls and weren't getting really negative feedback from these parents, it dawned on us that it's just because nobody knows about JMAC. So we really need to get out there and market this awesome daycare center that they have better. So there were a couple other questions. We thought, well, maybe there are other alternatives that we needed to look at before we ran down this marketing path. Maybe there were other things, such as, teaching approach. Did the students and the teachers not see eye to eye? Were we teaching something incorrectly? Were we going about teaching our students incorrectly? What was the overall issue? Was it the fact that maybe the teachers are mean and we just didn't, realize? We obviously screen all of our teachers very well, but Maybe they just weren't getting along, or maybe they were not doing things the way that we wanted them to do. Um, we also looked at cost. Are our costs higher than costs across other daycare centers? When we did that, our costs are almost lower than all other daycare centers that were researched. So it couldn't be cost. And then finally, class size. Were our classes too big? Were they too small? What was the issue? Um, but we boiled it down. It really comes back down to marketing. It's just the fact that nobody knows that JMAC is around. So we needed to figure out what was our marketing strategy. How are we going to get JMAC on TV, on the globe, on the map, anywhere, just so that people would know what JMAC is, what are the offerings that are out there for parents and students. And it really just came down to the fact that nobody knew who we were. So let's start marketing. Let's get better advertisements out there. So in order to do that, we decided to, like I said, go with marketing. So some of the benefits that we're going to see with marketing is the fact that we're going to bring in more students. That's going to be the immediate effect, or the immediate goal, the immediate benefit that we're going to pursue. We need more students, and then obviously bringing in more students has downstream impacts that are going to be positive, right? So we're going to have a better cash flow overall. We're going to see higher profit margins, and potentially with profit margins, you then can pay your employees a little bit more, which automatically means you're going to have happier employees. So the benefits of marketing are really going to cause a lot of downstream impacts that could be beneficial. But with every project, there are also risks that are involved. So marketing doesn't increase attendance. So then what's the actual issue? Why are we seeing a decline in students if, marketing isn't it? Like we said, when we polled these parents, there wasn't anything that stood out specifically. But, if we do all this marketing, but then attendance doesn't increase, what does that mean? What happens if there's no return on investment? So we spend 30 grand to do all this marketing, and follow some of the techniques that we are going to talk about, but there's no return on that investment. Or there is a return, but it's not high enough to, matter. Although it's a positive risk, it's still a risk. What happens if we end up with too many students? What if there's too many kids that reply, to our marketing, and now we don't have enough space or enough teachers? So then what happens? Again, while it's a positive, it's still a risk that needs to be mentioned. But finally, we came down and thought, okay, we're going to do marketing. Marketing is going to be the best recommendation that we can come up with, to really try to promote JMAC better. So we had 5 things that we came up with, 5 ideas that we thought that JMAC would do a better job for marketing. And they are passing out flyers. So while everybody passes out flyers, maybe we try to, figure out a way to really show, the face of JMAC at some of these other, events throughout the city. We try to, go to Pinellas County, and anywhere in Pinellas County, try to market JMAC and spend some good face-to-face time as much as we can with potential clients. And that face-to-face time really is what's going to make the difference. So secondly, what about a mass distribution email list? So there are other companies out there that are professional marketing companies where you can go in and ask for specific email addresses for a certain schema of people. So we would ask for email addresses or contact information for parents who live in Pinellas County, whose kids attend these schools, who have kids between the ages of 4 and 8 or whatever, or 4 and 12. So being able to send out emails on a regular basis to those parents would potentially bring them in at some point. And even if you offered coupon promos or whatever through that distribution list, it's still a good, effective, somewhat inexpensive way to promote. JMAC also has a fantastic website, but nobody knows about it because they don't promote it. So There are signs that they have out in front of JMAC, so we need to add the website link information to those signs just so that even people just driving by can see, oh, maybe I'll go look at that because it's a daycare center. Next, we want to create a packet for walk-ins. So like I said, Charlotte Bradley is the owner, and she sits at the very front of the building. So anytime anybody walks in, she's able to grab them and talk to them. But there are times, though, that she obviously is busy. So, creating a packet would allow her to pass out, information, all the pertinent information, whether that's, FAQs or school pickups or whatever. But it's going to have all that information inside of it that would give potential walk-ins that warm and fuzzy feeling that they are looking for when they're looking for a new school. So give them all that information, and then maybe once you hand them out a packet, you can tell them, maybe we can schedule a better time for you to come in and take a tour. Read this information, see if you have any questions on it, and let's get back together. At least it gives information to a parent immediately. And then finally, I would like to, my biggest recommendation is to create school buses that have better marketing and advertising on them. So whether that means to wrap the school bus in a vinyl that is bright and happy and has, words written on it that are eye grabbing, and make people look at the school buses versus them being just a regular yellow school bus. Why don't we add colors and textures to the school bus so that people actually look at them and see them versus, just having it be another school bus on the road or at the school. Although the actual school bus wrapping would be expensive, I would recommend that we would start with the first 4 options, and then, if those 4 options do work, then we would move forward with the school buses to, bring in a high. So those are my recommendations, and that is those are my recommendations for JMAC Kids, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thanks.